We're back at Lighthouse Books. I'm Mike Slicker, and this is another of our rare book moments that we just talk a little bit about book collecting and book jargon, those kinds of things, just basic things about putting together an interesting book collection. Today we have across the street some major construction going on. They're preparing a block across the street for construction of a big high-rise over there. So we have some background noise. And but anyway, we're going to go ahead and muddle on through. Today we have a book by a man named Samuel Richardson. Samuel Richardson was originally a printer, and toward the end of his life, when he was about 51, I believe, he decided to go ahead and write a novel. And it is oftentimes credited with being the first real novel in the English language. He chose to write it in a series of letters, and there's a... It was written in, or it was published in 1740, although you'll see the date at the foot of the title page says 1741, but it was actually printed in 1740. It's entitled Pamela, or Virtue Rewarded. And timely enough, this 4-volume set, and they are all first editions, of course, it is a book about sexual harassment. And young Pamela is a maidservant at a Downton Abbey sort of place, and her mistress dies, leaving young 15-year-old Pamela to be the servant for her son, who continually makes advances towards her, which she resists for years, and her reward ultimately, ironically enough, is that she marries the young man. Not your not the outcome you would have thought of, but so it was in 1740, Virtue Rewarded. It happens that it is a high point, obviously, in English literature, and it has application today, in as much it is a book about sexual harassment. It's interesting that in its day, there was a wide controversy about it. There were those that thought of it as a novel about virtue. There were also people, a number of people, including the Pope at the time, who decided that it was really pornography disguised. And possibly as a result of that, it was a runaway bestseller in its day. And there were numerous editions done between 1840 and 1850, or excuse me, 1740 and 1750 or 60. So it was a book that had wide readership. It has a lot of things going for it. It can be a novel about virtue and all of that sort of thing, or pornography. It can be a novel that was done by a printer. We don't have a lot of those in our history, but it's an important aspect of whether or not it could fit in your collection. It's also obviously an important book in English literature, Samuel Richardson went on to write another long novel entitled Clarissa, which may be the longest novel in the English language. In any case, this particular book could fit in a number of different collections. And that's the sort of thing that a good book collector looks for. So the idea here is look at your collection from a multitude of different directions and how things might fit together. They don't always fit together just exactly how you think they should, and that's a good thing. Collections can go this way or that way. It's important to see how things meld together, how your collection can grow and become an interesting collection, maybe something that nobody else has looked at previously. So here in these Rare Book Moments, we're hoping that you get a little bit of information to go out and enjoy the hunt for the books, to enjoy the building of your collection, and to create something that maybe you didn't think you could. Or maybe you did and wanted to create something, and you need to keep an eye out for those interesting things that pop up wherever that might be. We wish you well.